Hello friends, welcome to Suresh Aggarwal's Mathematics Shortcuts. In this video, I am going to take up two very interesting things. One which is known as the Collatz Conjecture, and the other one are some number games which you can play with your friends and surprise them with the beauty of mathematics. So watch the complete video. These two things are really going to surprise you, and you can further surprise your friends using these tricks. Right, I have adopted these particular two games, you can say, from the recent NCERT books which CBSE has released. And I tell you, the people who have framed all those things, they have done so much of research, and that's what is the beauty of mathematics. You dig deep into some concept and you will find numbers and numbers. The Collatz Conjecture. This is a very amazing property of numbers. What happens is, when you start with any number, let me take an example of the number 23. I'll take a small number first so that you understand what is going on here and what we have to do. So Lothar Collatz, in 1937, he was a German mathematician, and he gave this conjecture, the property of numbers, and he said that you start with any number. If this number is odd, then you do 3 times the number plus 1, and if the number is even, just do the number divided by 2. That means half of the number. Now this is what we have to do with the number and whatever numbers we obtain subsequently. So if you start with 23, 23 is odd. So what happens to 23? I will do 3 times 23 and add 1, which gets me 69 plus 1, 70. Now 70 is an even number. So what will I do with this? Take the half. The half of 70 is 35. Now 35 again is odd. So what will I do with this? I will multiply this by 3, which gets me 105, and then add 1, which gets me 106. Now 106 is even, so I have to keep on repeating this cycle. 106 is even, so 106 divided by 2 gets me a 53, and then 53 is odd. So triple of this is 159 plus 1, 160. Half of 160 is 80, half of 80 is 40, half of 40 is 20, half of 20 is 10, half of 10 is 5. That is easy, right? And then 5 threes are 15 plus 1, 16. And see what happens after getting to 16. Once I get to 16, the half is 8, the half is 4, the half is 2, and the half is 1. Collatz said that irrespective of whatever number you start with, if you follow this pattern, you are always going to end up with 1. And that is the property which he gave. Now, basically, we have to start with small numbers first, and after that try big numbers, because the steps might be so many. So if I start with another number, say let us take 42. Now 42 is the first number, it's an even number, so take half of this, you get 21. 21 is odd, triple of 21 is 63, plus 1, 64, and now take the half, you get 32, take the half, you get 16, take the half, you get 8, 4, 2, and finally you get the same number, 1. So how many steps? Very few steps here, but here the number of steps were quite large. So the number of steps depends on which number you are starting with. Like if I start with, see, even if you have a small number, the number of steps might be more. Like suppose you start with the 18. Half of 18 is 9. Triple of 9, 27 plus 1, 28. Half of 28, 14. Half of 14, 7. 7 threes are 21, so 22. Half of this is 11. 33 plus 1, 34. Half of this is 17. 17 threes are 51 plus 1, 52. Half of this is 26. Half of this is 13. See, the number of steps 13 threes are 39 plus 1 40. Half of this is 20. Then half of this is 10. Half of this is 5. 5 threes are 15 plus 1 16. And once you get to 16, it is pretty easy. 8, 4, 2 and finally 1. See the number of steps here. 18 has given us so many numbers, but ultimately we are getting to the same number 1. And this is called the Collatz conjecture. Irrespective of whatever number you start with, follow this process, you are always going to get to 1. Let me know in the comments what can be the possible logic for this. In the meanwhile, let me tell you some of the very interesting winning strategies for some number games which you can play with your friends. Like suppose there are two persons A and B. So I need to first explain what is this game so that you understand the rules and you can actually play it well with your friend, right? And we have a winning strategy in that. If you follow that strategy, you are never going to lose, right? So let's see what the game is. So A and B, there are two persons who are playing this game. So let's consider that you are A, okay, and your friend is B. So what is the rule? You or your friend start the counting. Like if your friend starts the counting, he may say maximum of, maybe you can say 3 numbers, okay, maximum of 3 numbers, and that too in order. Starting from 1, he has to say a maximum of 3 numbers. So maximum of 3 means he can either stop at 1 or say 1, 2 and then stop, or say 1, 2, 3 and then stop. Okay, he cannot say 1, 2, 3, 4. Only maximum of 3 numbers. Now suppose he says 1, 2. Now it is your turn. You also have the liberty of saying maximum of 3 numbers, but in order. He left it at 2, so you have to begin at 3, okay, and you can speak either 3 and stop, 3, 4 and then stop, 3, 4, 5 and then stop, because you cannot speak more than 3 numbers. So suppose you say 3, 4, 5. Now you stopped at 5, so again his turn, he will start speaking the numbers beyond 5, starting from 6, and he can also say a maximum of 3 numbers. So what is the game? The game is the person who speaks 21, he wins the game. Now there is a winning strategy here. Who will win the game if 21 is the target? So you have to strategize. You know how many numbers you have to speak to help you get to 21 first. So the other person should not be able to get to that target first. Okay. So what is the winning strategy? For 21, I am going to tell you the strategy, and you can devise your own games like this. So suppose 21 is the target and maximum 3 numbers can be spoken once. Now 1 more than this number 3 is 4. So reduce this by 4. If you get to 17, you will win the game. Because after 17, if it is the other person's turn, he can only speak either 18, then you will say 19, 20, 21. Or he can say 18, 19, then you will say 20, 21 and win the game. Or he can say 18, 19, 20, so you will say 21 and win the game. Right? So 17 is the target. If you reach 17 first, you will win the game. And similarly, reaching 17 has another strategy. 4 less than this is 13. So if you get to 13, only you can get to 17. Right? And similarly, 4 less than this is 9. So if you get to 9, you have a winning chance. If you get to 4 less than this 5, you have a winning chance. 4 less than this is 1, then you have a winning chance. So if you fall into any of these numbers, then ensure that, suppose you get to 13, then ensure that you get to 17, and you will definitely win the game by saying 21. 1. So why did I take a gap of 4? Because a maximum of 3 numbers were to be said. So if the maximum number to be spoken is 5, then you have to take a gap of 6. Now think about that. Try it with your siblings or your friends first, and make sure that you have understood the game first in order to play it effectively with other friends in the class. Okay friends, so I hope you enjoyed the video of this Collatz conjecture, which is an amazing property of numbers to reduce to 1 and or converts to 1, and the number play properties, which will help us framing these amazing mathematical games. So do share this video with all your friends. Do like this video, and as soon as you like the video, you will get an option to hype the video. Just hype it so that it has greater chances of reaching to other students who are interested in such amazing number games. So friends, thanks for watching this, and let me know in the comments whether the number game worked for you or not.